Genius Kids. Cultivating love for learning.
Socialism, Chapter 16. A political system. Get connected. Self-awareness. Russia, earlier known as the Soviet Union, was a socialist country. But what exactly is socialism and what are the advantages and disadvantages of it? Socialism is a system to organize society. The way wealth is created in the country and equal distribution of it is what socialism deals with. Knowledge acquisition. Have you heard of social disparity? Disparity is a term which means that there is a great difference between the rich and the poor in a country. In some countries, in the past, the rich were extremely rich and the poor were extremely poor. The rich upper class exploited the uneducated and poor lower class. Even though the lower classes were working in the factories and industries owned by the upper class, they weren't given equal rights, neither were they given fair pay. Because of this, there was a widening gap between the rich and the poor. This was a time of reform. Great leaders like Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels thought of a system by which there would be equal distribution of wealth. This was known as Marxism or Marxist socialism. Karl Marx is known as the father of socialism. Socialism is a system where the people who work for a living own the factories and offices. There are not any private owners, instead the value belongs to the people who make it instead of the owners. This is the core belief of socialism. In a socialist economy, everyone works together in collaboration to ensure everyone is provided for equally. Different countries adopt different forms of socialism. They organize their communities differently. The two main ways in which a society can make wealth are A. By state-owned cooperatives, that is, government-owned cooperatives. B. By worker-owned cooperatives. However, since the main purpose of socialism is equal distribution of wealth, it is generally agreed upon that the state should control cooperatives and assets. Socialists tend to believe that everything that happens in a socialist society is made possible by the people and for the people. The state looks after its citizens and provides free healthcare and other services like education, transport, housing as well in some cases. In Soviet Russia, the housing, education, healthcare, transport, jobs were all state-provided. The country acted like a large conglomerate. One of the advantages was that everyone was taken care for. However, this slowly settled into a rut. Socialist democracy is an idea where socialism and capitalism merge. The idea was to get the best of both worlds. In a social democracy, the government takes taxes from the upper class and provides the poor with facilities that can help them to benefit and grow. This could include education and healthcare. The state-run hospitals and schools provide free or less expensive services to the class of people who cannot afford them. The government compensates the workers who are employed in these sectors. Their salaries are paid by the taxpayers who pay taxes to the government. Individuals are allowed to hold entrepreneurial ventures and companies and private properties. Social democracy focuses on a slow reform. In a social democracy, certain sectors are subsidized. The government gives subsidies and grants to run such companies. Advantages and disadvantages of socialism. Advantages of socialism. 1. Socialism is based on the principle of equal wealth distribution. 2. Since the government controls the economy, it can make better use of resources and land. 3. Since it reduces the disparity in wealth, it reduces the societal ranks and classes. 4. Better economic planning can be undertaken, thus production of goods is within the limits. Overproduction or surplus production is reduced, thus cutting the losses. 5. Similarly, inflation because of underproduction of goods can also be taken care of. 6. Since everyone is expected to contribute, socialism tackles the problem of unemployment. Disadvantages of socialism. 1. There is a lack of competition in the society. 2. Because of lack of competition, the economic growth is slow. 3. There is a distinct lack of entrepreneurial opportunities since everything is controlled by the state. 4. It doesn't give any importance to the creativity or talents of an individual. 5. Eliminates individualism is its most basic form as well. Everyone is forced to accept the state-sanctioned things. 6. Since everyone is being taken care of by the state, people get complacent in their jobs. They know that even if their output isn't up to the mark, they won't be fired. 7. Since there are not any rewards or incentives, people lack motivation. To summarize, socialism is a society based on equal status. Features of socialism are: 1. No ownership of private property. 2. Socialism stands for collective interest rather than personal interest.
Like, share and subscribe.